Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another political episode. So we got some groundbreaking news in Gabon. I would say groundbreaking, but we finally have an election winner. Brice Oligui Nguema, who led a coup in 2023, has seized power in a democratic process. He is re-elected president of Gabon to a 7-year term. Now, if you guys are unaware, we covered this video a very long time ago. I want to believe, yes, it was the 2023 Gabon election. Very old video, low quality. But yes, I had a really bad mic, and everyone loves bringing up my bad mic. We love to bring that up, but it's fine. But yeah, this election was supposed to be significant, specifically, because obviously the 2023 election screwed everybody up. We had Ali Bongo Mbinda. He originally won the election, but the problem was he was overthrown in a coup. So really, this election didn't actually, these election results were annulled, and the coup leader was, of course, Nguema, I want to believe. He took power. And we covered this video. It took forever for us to actually record the results. Like, oh, when are these results going to happen? And then apparently a coup happened. As a result, those election results were annulled. This is the only election we've ever reviewed that were annulled due to a coup, and it's not the only election that we know of that were annulled. We know the Romania election was ultimately annulled in 2024. Well, I think it was 2024 election because a anti-establishment candidate got in. But ultimately, what we're going for round 2, basically, 2025. Finally, we actually have election results. It says to be determined, but we can already determine by fact that Brice Oligui Nguema has been elected president. There have been sources that have declared him the winner, and the likelihood that's going to go down is pretty likely. Rather than, waiting for all the sources, all the networks to call this race, which can take a couple days, we're going to call it now. NSC calls this race for Nguema. So I'm kind of interested to know Nguema's background. Obviously, he's the very first leader since the Bongo dynasty. Now, Bongo dynasty, it has been the ruling dynasty in Gabon for since pretty much its existence. So we can actually put that up. List of presidents of Gabon. You had Omar Bongo. Yeah, Omar Bongo founded this, of course. He founded he was elected in 1973 by 100%. Goes in to win re-election in 1979, and he basically gives power to Ali Bongo, which I want to believe is his son, in 2009. I am not sure, but never mind these people. They held, really, I guess it was Omar Bongo passed away in his term that started in 2005, 2006, really, whatever that may be. But Ali Bongo and Omar Bongo were the ones that held the torch. So yeah, he died in 2009. And really, there was a period of in 2009 where there wasn't a Bongo dynasty. Barely, Didjab Njinj, whatever his name is, he wasn't necessarily declared the third president. Francine Rogame, she wasn't declared the winner or the next third president either. And it was really Ali Bongo until he was overthrown in a coup in 2023, which was kind of historic. It kind of got some attention because we know the Bongo dynasty has been in power as long as I have been alive, and a lot of our younger people for sure have been alive. It was the Bongo dynasty was about the same tenure as the Assad dynasty in Syria, but obviously, if Gabon is an ally of the United States, it's an adversary, it is a friend. So it's really hard to say here, but Brice Oligui Nguema, he isn't really confirmed the third president till now. He has officially been democratically elected. He has been elected the fourth president of Gabon, and he will obviously reign until 2032. That's right. Gabon has a 7-year term limit for their presidents, which is actually pretty long, if you ask me. We have 4 terms. A lot of people most countries have 4 to 5 terms for their presidents, but Gabon has 7 years for their one term. And I don't think there is a term limit in Gabon. But obviously, Brice Oligui Nguema, Nguema managed to win by a landslide of 90%. I want to believe we're done counting. I don't see that green bar up by the date, but I want to believe we're done counting. 90% at least. His opponent, Alain Claude Billy, by whatever his name is, he got 3%. And he comes from this unrecognized party, the Assemble pour de Gabon. Doesn't really exist. No real information in regards to that. But a huge win for this guy, Nguema. I'm kind of interested to know what his ideology is. But before we do that, we got to take a look at our political map. Yes, it's a pretty complex map. As of April 13th, there are 81 leftist countries and 115 right-wing countries. Now, you'll realize once again that there are some countries that have right-wing leaders, but they're colored blue for left-wing. That is because those countries, this is the map by, this is the aggregate of how each country tends to vote. This is the pattern, really. The pattern and the average of, by average, what position do countries usually vote the most? You'll see most countries vote right-wing. You'll see Europe's all right-wing. But they're different. Their definition of right wing is very different compared to our definition. But you'll see Gabon as, of course, right wing. In fact, I don't think Gabon has ever had a liberal or a left wing president. If I'm looking and understanding this correctly. When it comes to these elections, the BDG, it's the ruling party, center right. Yes. And then, you'll see the BDG has been the ruling party all the way through. In fact, Nguema is the first candidate to win an election that is not from the BDG. Interesting. But his politics is kind of interesting. I want to know, because if he's a socialist, I could straight out call him a dictator. Because, he took power unconstitutionally. He took power via militarily force. Yes, he was reelected. I want to believe Hitler was elected too. So, I'm not trying to compare him to Hitler. I don't want to make that sound like Mr. Oligui make that comparison. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I'm just saying, I'm calling out the facts. So, I want to know. Otherwise, he could be like, he is, after all, an independent. He's not like the president of Burma, who actually is a right-wing populist, if you think about it. But looking at Gabon. All right, yeah. Okay, yeah, you'll see Omar Bongo and Ali Bongo. They're the two right-wing leaders. So I really don't know if Bryce Oligoi is a socialist or something like that. Okay, we could actually see his presidency. Following the 2023 Gabonese coup d'etat, which overthrew President Ali Bongo, the Committee for the Transition and Restoration of Institutions named Oligoi as the interim president of Gabon in an announcement aired on state television. He was later seen on the shoulders of jubilant army personnel calling him the president. In an interview with Le Monde later in the day, he referred to Bongo as retired, and he said that the military had staged the coup due to discontent that had been growing in the country since Bongo's stroke in 2014, his decision to run for a third term. The disregarding of the country's constitution and the conduct of the election, his appointment as interim president was later confirmed by other generals, and he was formally sworn in as transitional president at the presidential palace on September 4th. In his inaugural address, he pledged to hold free, transparent elections, but did not give an exact date as to when. He also announced the formation of a new government in the coming days and proposed new electoral legislation, a new penal code, a referendum on a new constitution, and the release of all political prisoners. In October 2023, Oligoi announced that he would give up his salary as president and rely instead on wages as commander of the Republican Guard. In 2025, Oligoi announced that he would run for president in his own right in 2025 Gabonese general election on the 12th of April. He was elected with 90.35% of the popular vote. So I would say he didn't lead the coup, quote, quote. He was appointed. So is he a dictator? Probably not. It was just a regime change. So I don't really know his ideology. I'm guessing he's an independent. He is, of course, a centrist, a moderate, works with everybody sort of guy. But obviously, he wins re-election today. Yes, he said he was elected with 90.35% of the popular vote. Really, they should be considering highlighting his name and actually putting that down. He is elected. So that has been official. What do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.